The Skin Instructor's Tip of the Week. Our tip ties directly into our conversation about shifting tanning mindsets this week. When discussing sun protection with your clients, try reframing the conversation from restriction to preservation. Instead of just saying avoid tanning, try language like let's focus on preserving your skin's youthful radiance and health for years to come, or protecting your skin daily is the best way to maintain its natural beauty and prevent future concerns like hyperpigmentation and premature aging. This subtle shift in language can be much more empowering and less negative. It focuses on the positive outcomes of sun-safe behavior, maintaining that healthy glow and youthful appearance, rather than just what they should be avoiding. So this week, challenge yourself to use more preservation-focused language when talking about sun protection. You might be surprised at how receptive your clients are.
Welcome back to the Skin Instructors, the podcast where we bring you all things aesthetics. I'm your host, Jolie.
And I'm Morgan. We're diving into a really significant topic today, tanning culture and how we can help our clients embrace healthy beauty standards.
Yeah, this desire for tan skin runs deep. And to truly address it with our clients, it helps to understand where it even originated. So let's delve a bit into those roots. Historically, the perception of tanned skin has actually flipped. Before the Industrial Revolution, pale skin was often associated with wealth and leisure, signifying that someone didn't have to toil outdoors.
That's such a fascinating contrast to today's ideal. So, what shifted that perception?
Well, as more people moved to urban areas and worked outdoors, a tan started to symbolize something entirely different: outdoor activity, health, and even affluence, the ability to take vacations in sunny locations. Then, in the early 20th century, figures like Coco Chanel played an unexpected role. Legend has it that after accidentally getting sunburned while on a yacht, her sun-kissed look was suddenly deemed chic and fashionable. It was a pivotal moment that started to associate tanned skin with glamour and sophistication.
It's really amazing how a seemingly accidental event could have such a lasting impact on beauty standards. And that association has only been amplified over the decades, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The rise of mass media, particularly Hollywood, further cemented that bronzed goddess image. Think of iconic movie stars always looking effortlessly sun-kissed. This created a powerful visual ideal that many aspired to be.
And that brings us to present day and the influence of celebrity culture and social media, especially platforms like Instagram. It's a constant stream of seemingly perfect, often filtered images showcasing that golden hour glow.
Exactly. Influencers and celebrities often promote tanning products or showcase their tans, further reinforcing the idea that tan skin is the epitome of beauty and health. It creates this aspirational image that can be incredibly persuasive, especially for younger generations.
It's almost like a visual echo chamber, constantly feeding this ideal. And it's so intertwined with cultural pressures and body image. For many, being tan is linked to feeling more attractive, slimmer, or more confident.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Morgan. There's often this underlying belief that a tan can somehow mask imperfections or create a more desirable appearance. And this can lead to significant body image issues and unhealthy tanning behaviors as people strive to achieve this often unrealistic ideal. I know I used to love to tan growing up because I felt like it helped mask my acne and my breakouts more.
Absolutely. Same.
Um, eventually I learned, but
I mean, full transparency, like I was tanning post aesthetic license. Like
me too.
it happens.
Yeah, it
I
does.
fell into this so hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really
absolutely.
creates a cycle. The media presents that this bronze look is desirable, leading to cultural pressures and really impacting how people view their own bodies. And it just fuels that desire to tan even more.
Yeah, absolutely. And as skincare professionals, we're often on the front lines of this, hearing firsthand about these pressures and desires from our clients. Understanding these deep seated origins and the ongoing perpetuation of tanning culture is the first step in helping our clients shift their mindsets towards healthier, sun safe beauty standards. It gives us a better framework for approaching these conversations with empathy and understanding rather than just diminishing their desire for a tan.
Absolutely. By acknowledging the cultural weight behind this ideal, we can then gently guide our clients to understand the difference between the perceived beauty benefit and the actual sun damage occurring. As their esthetician, clearly explain the long term consequences like hyperpigmentation that can be so difficult to treat, premature wrinkles, loss of elasticity, and of course, the increased risk of skin cancer.
It can be sobering when you share the statistics. For example, did you know that tanning beds increase the risk of melanoma by a significant 59%? Those kinds of numbers can really make an impact.
They really can. I had no idea that it was that high.
Yeah.
When we're having these conversations with clients, our language is so important. We want to avoid sounding judgmental or making them feel bad about past choices. Like, come on, we've clearly been there.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Instead of saying something like, you shouldn't tan, we can use more empowering phrasing. Something like, let's focus on protecting your skin's health for decades to come. It reframes the conversation in a positive light.
That's a great example, Jolie. We also need to be aware of red flags. When a client's tanning behaviors seem excessive or obsessive, in these situations, it might be necessary to have a deeper conversation or even suggest seeking advice from a medical professional. I think we all know somebody, or maybe you were that person who you would bounce to different tanning salons and tan at multiple locations each day. Like
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Absolutely. That sun-kissed glow is essentially the skin's defense mechanism kicking in. When exposed to that UV radiation from the sun or tanning beds, the skin produces more melanin. The pigment gives that skin its color in an attempt to protect itself from further harm. So a tan isn't a sign of health, it's a visual indicator that DNA damage has occurred within the skin cells.
And while that immediate tan might seem appealing, the long term consequences are significant and can really impact the skin's health and appearance for years to come. Let's talk about hyperpigmentation, for example. Hyperpigmentation, such as sunspots or age spots, is a very common long term effect of sun exposure. The increased melanin production can become uneven over time, leading to those dark patches on the skin. They can be tough to treat and can significantly impact someone's complexion and confidence.
And then there are the visible signs of premature aging. We're talking about wrinkles, fine lines, and loss of elasticity. UV radiation breaks down collagen and elastin, the structural proteins that keep our skin firm and smooth. This breakdown accelerates the aging process far beyond what would naturally occur.
Think about clients who have been avid tanners for years. You often see a leathery texture to their skin, deep set wrinkles, and a noticeable lack of that youthful bounce. It's a stark visual reminder of that damage from UV exposure.
And of course, the most serious long term consequence is skin cancer. It's vital that our clients understand the direct link between UV radiation and the development of various forms of skin cancer, including melanoma, basal cell carcinoma, and squamous cell carcinoma.
Absolutely. The statistics here are really compelling and should be shared with clients in a clear and direct yet empathetic way.
And it's not just tanning beds. Even sun exposure carries significant risks. Studies have shown that people who frequently sunburn, which is a clear sign of significant UV damage, have a substantially higher risk of developing melanoma. One study found that having 5 or more sunburns in your lifetime can double your risk of melanoma. It's alarming to realize that I have experienced more than 5 sunburns.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, it is. And it's important to emphasize that all skin types are susceptible to sun damage and skin cancer. While those with fairer skin might burn more easily, individuals with darker skin tones can still develop skin cancer, and it's often diagnosed at a later, more advanced stage.
That's an essential point. The misconception that darker skin is immune to sun damage is dangerous. While melanin does offer some natural protection, it's not enough to prevent long term damage and the risk of skin cancer. Everyone needs to be diligent about sun protection and getting regular skin checks with their dermatologist.
Exactly. So when we're talking to clients about their tanning habits, framing it in terms of those tangible long term consequences, the hyperpigmentation that they might struggle to treat, the accelerated aging they'll see in the mirror, and the very real risk of skin cancer can be incredibly impactful. It moves beyond the superficial desire for a tan and addresses their long term health and well being.
It shifts the conversation from aesthetics alone to the actual science of what's happening to their skin cells. And understanding that can be a powerful motivator for change. Okay, now let's talk about the fun part. Healthy alternatives. The good news is that clients don't have to sacrifice that beautiful glow. Spray tanning has come such a long way.
It really has. I have had some really bad
Oh,
spray
yeah.
tans, like when it's first started becoming popular, and now it's like you can't even tell.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
My skin would like reject the spray tan. I would look like I had some kind of weird disease.
Yeah. My mom and I both got them once, and we were both completely orange, like Oompa Loompa orange for our family's wedding. It was bad.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can really educate clients on the benefits like no UV exposure, those customized results. It's so great. Talk about the ingredients to look for and how to properly prep their skin for best outcome.
And there are so many fantastic at home options now, too. Gradual self tanners are great for building that subtle glow, and bronzing skincare products can add a touch of warmth without any actual tanning.
Okay, so there's these new oral tanning drops that you mix into your drink or tanning pills that you can take. What's your take on that, Jolie? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I thought these were interesting. So, the main ingredient in some drops is beta carotene, which can convert to vitamin A and boost melanin production. If you take enough, it can build up in your skin and it creates a yellow orangey hue. But it can turn the darkest on areas that you don't necessarily want, like calloused, thicker skin, your feet, your hands, things like that. Other products can contain an ingredient called canthaxanthin, which has the greatest potential to be dangerous because it can be deposited into any organ in the body and
Yikes.
cause harm. One company was trying to receive FDA approval, but had to withdraw its application because the product ended up causing vision problems.
Okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's generally a good idea to use topical self tanners since all sunless tanning products, including spray tans, contain the same active ingredient, dihydroxyacetone, which is DHA. This ingredient works by binding to the dead skin cells in the outer layers of the skin, causing them to darken over time.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the glow from within techniques. Emphasizing hydration, regular exfoliation, and light reflecting serums can give the skin a natural radiance that's all about health.
Building a sun safe culture within our own practices is also vital. It starts with the visual cues in our space. Things like informative signage about sun protection and strategically placed displays of SPF products can subtly reinforce the message.
Incorporating sun safety into every service, even a facial, is a fantastic idea. Ending with an SPF application and offering personalized recommendations show your commitment. And let's not underestimate the power of social media. We can use our platforms to normalize daily SPF use and showcase how to achieve a beautiful glow without any sun damage. Before we move on, let's do some role playing to provide some verbiage to bust the most common myth we tend to hear from our clients.
Great idea, Jolie. Today's myth, a base tan protects me in the sun. Because the truth is, a base tan offers very minimal SPF protection, often less than SPF of 3. Come on, guys. It's still damaged skin and doesn't provide adequate defense against harmful UV rays. Clients need to understand that a tan is a sign of skin injury, not protection.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I was one of these
Same.
people.
I get
That's
it.
why I was at the tanning bed, you know. I gotta get it before I go on vacation. But Morgan, you be the esthetician and I'll be the client. So I'm coming in for a facial and you're asking about my current skincare routine.
Okay, perfect. Hi, Jolie. It's great to see you. Tell me a little bit about your current skincare regimen. Are you using sunscreen regularly?
You know, I try to when I'm going outside for a while, like at the beach, but honestly, I like to get a bit of a base tan at the beginning of summer. I feel like it protects me from getting a really bad sunburn later on.
Okay, I understand why you would think that. It's a common belief. I've been there. However, what's actually happening when you get a tan, even a base tan, is that your skin is producing more melanin as a response to UV damage. It's a sign that your skin cells are trying to protect themselves from further injury.
Oh, really? I always thought I was just building up a natural shield.
Yeah, I can see why it would seem that way. Unfortunately, that little bit of extra pigment offers very minimal protection. Think of it as having a very, very low SPF, like SPF 3, not nearly enough to truly shield you from the sun's harmful rays. So while you might not burn as quickly with a slight tan compared to completely untanned skin, you're still accumulating significant sun damage, contributing to premature aging and increasing your risk of skin cancer.
Oh, wow. I've never really thought about it that way. So even a light tan is still damaging.
It is. Yeah, the safest way to protect your skin is through consistent use of a broad spectrum SPF of 30 or higher, along with other sun safe practices like wearing protective clothing, seeking shade. We have some really fantastic lightweight sunscreens here that feel great under makeup, and we can also talk about some amazing sunless tanning options if you still love that bronze look without the risk.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm definitely more open to learning about these alternatives. Thanks for explaining that.
You're very welcome. My goal is to help you have healthy skin for years to come, and sun protection is the foundation of that.
That was a great example, Morgan, of how to address that common misconception in a helpful and informative way.
Yeah, it's all about providing the right information with empathy and offering practical solutions. By consistently having these conversations and promoting sun safe alternatives, we can truly help shift our clients' mindsets for good.
Absolutely. It's about being mindset shifters and skin protectors.
We hope this episode has given you some valuable insights into addressing tanning culture with your clients. If you want more information about SPF or skin cancer, make sure to listen to our previous episodes on these topics.
Thanks for tuning in to the Skin Instructors podcast. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't hesitate to educate.